Hey, hey, Dripping Springs. It is Ashley and Amber. It's Wednesday at 4-ish o'clock. So as you know, it is the weekly drip, season 6, episode 7. Amber, are you staying warm and cozy today?
Yes, I have been described as an Eskimo today. I had to pick up my son from school, and the teacher couldn't see anything because I had the scarf up to my nose, my beanie to here. And his teacher asked my son, "Which one's your mom?" And he's like, "The one that you can only see her eyes." So I don't like being cold, so I am staying covered. Other than right now, my house is warm, but I am trying to keep as much covered as possible. How about you? Are you staying warm? How
I
do you
am.
cool?
I had like a double sweater situation going in my office. I took one of them off. And I'm not kidding. Like, if you know the Sunday Bookshop sweater, you know it's like thick and heavy. I had
It's
another one on top of that.
awesome.
Literally sitting on a heated blanket at this moment. It
Nice.
is rocking in high mode. We
Genius.
are, yes, 10 out of 10 recommend.
All the warm things.
Yeah, it was hard to like leave home and come up to the office today. I was like, no, I just want to stay where it's cozy. I
What
don't
is
want to go
your
out there.
what is your beverage of choice when you're cold and you're trying to warm up? What do you drink?
Oh, that's such a good question. If it's morning, it'll be coffee for
Mhm.
sure. But I drink coffee every morning, so it's like not out of the ordinary. But if it's like evening, gosh, I don't know. Like, I don't think I would be averse to really honestly any beverage. And I'm thinking like non-alcoholic beverage,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah.
And I don't think I have a preferred like alcoholic beverage when it like I'm not like a hot toddy person
Okay.
at all. This is such a good question. I was clearly unprepared for. I want to say
We
like,
do
oh,
our rehearse before our show.
no, we do not. Never, not once. I want to be like, oh my God, I love a jasmine tea or hot cocoa. But if you open like my container with all my teas in it, there's got to be like at least 10 different ones. And it's so like whatever I'm in the mood for. And it's not the holiday season anymore. So I don't want like the apple spices because I feel like we're past Christmas. So that doesn't feel right. I don't know, man, vibes. What about you?
I mean, it also kind of depends on my mood. I really like rose tea.
Really?
Yeah, I got it when my daughter was little. She wanted to have a tea party, and I was like, "What's like the girliest tea I can get for a tea party?" She was, gosh, I think she was 5 at the time, and I
Oh,
found this rose tea that comes in a pink box, and everything is like hot pink, and I was like, "Let's do that." I didn't know if it was even necessarily something I wanted to drink. It is delicious. It's very nice and like a light flavor. That one's probably my one of my favorite go to. Like if I don't want to have caffeine, and I just want something easy and gentle, I would say that. But I also am a big fan of the dark chocolate hot cocoa.
okay.
I like it. You got to boil your own milk. Like you got to do the thing on the stove, whether you use regular milk or alternative milk. You got to do it the right way. It's not good. It's not the same with water. You got to do the milk.
Oh, right. Yeah, no. Cocoa with water is like bootleg cocoa.
Yeah, no. You're gonna
I get
treat yourself. Treat yourself well.
it. Yes, which is actually kind of a theme that we have for today. So we're gonna jam on places that you can go eat in Dripping Springs that really truly nourish your body. And Amber, I
Mhm.
don't think I've actually shared this with you. I had a breakthrough, an epiphany. You know how people have like a mindset word for the year, and they usually come up with it like long before the new year starts.
Mhm.
You've probably heard that concept before.
Mhm.
I usually have a word of the year. Like one year it was slay, One year it was consistency. One year it was gratitude. One year, one year it was execute. And I think that's really funny because
Feels like an aggressive word.
very aggressive. It was an aggressive season of like, I'm in my boss babe era and I'm going to execute on everything I say I'm going to execute on, and, no excuses. Like that was in my early hustle culture days. Well, I had this breakthrough and it was probably on Monday. And I looked at my husband and I said, I think I know what my word of the year is. And
I feel like I know what it is.
he didn't even like point out that it was the middle of February. I did. I was like, it only took me this long to come up with it. So my theme for 2025 is going to be gentle.
Oh, I like that.
It's going to be gentle. I'm going to be gentle with myself. I'm going to be gentle with other people. I'm going to be gentle in how I approach my friendships, my marriage, my relationship with my son. I'm just going to approach everything from a gentle place. That's what I've decided. Now, next year might be like really aggressive again. But for this year, I just felt like the world is just a little too aggressive for me personally. So I'm just going to approach everything in a gentle way, including the way that I treat myself. I'm going to be like really gentle with myself. Thus, the theme of where can I go around Dripping Springs and fuel my body and really nourish myself. And then also story time number 2, and then I'll actually let you talk today. I'm so sorry. I'm like hogging the conversation. You guys, Amber like saved my butt yesterday. In the spirit of being gentle with myself and only choosing to eat nourishing foods, I had a really packed day. I had an appointment that ran literally an hour longer than I thought it would. So I had no lunch and I had a decision to make. If you don't know where my office is, I am in the Keller Williams building right behind McDonald's. So that is real accessible to me. So I decided I'm not getting McDonald's. I'll starve. That's how I'll be gentle with myself. And then my friend shows up with the Brussels chicken salad from Summer Revival. And she was like, do you want to have my salad? I was just going to take it home. And it was so nourishing. And that's what kind of like inspired our topic today, because I feel like anything on the menu at Summer Revival is nourishing. So that would be like my first kind of like stop the car.
And they still have their grilled cheese and tomato soup. So if you like those
things, really good.
It's really, really good. I love them. So I actually looked up the definition of nourishing for our show today because I was like, let me make sure that I'm like really clear on what I'm thinking that nourishing is.
Word.
Definition of nourish is the food or other substances necessary for growth, health, and good condition. And so that kind of expanded my thoughts of what nourishment was. So I have my list like I normally do. And so I have some restaurants on here that I'm going to talk about, but one of the other places that made me think of is Sacred Moon. So Sacred Moon, they have a variety of things. They have herbs, they have tea like we were talking about, they have spices, they have aromatherapy, they have a lot of different things to nourish your body in more ways than just what you're eating. So I was thinking about them. And then Alchemy is like right around the corner from there. And they have their organic cold pressed juices. And if you're going to treat yourself well. If you're going to drink a juice, I guess you could drink the concentrate stuff, but you're just not getting the same nutrients and the same, it's just not the same value to your body. Your body isn't going to process it as well as it's going to process real food. So Alchemy is one of those places that you're getting real food. I don't even know how many pieces of fruit go into one single bottle of juice, but it's it is all food. There's no fillers or weird stuff in there. So I always know when I go there that I'm going to get something really nourishing for my body. And
it's going to be organic, and
yeah.
it's going to be fresh, because you can't put preservatives in that stuff. So it's not going to last. Yes, Martin, we should come to your gentle yoga class. I've never done yoga a day in my life. I'm a little intimidated.
Go together. Like everything else, we'll just do it together.
One of the things that I really love at Alchemy, I love the juice, but I also like the idea of like processing something. So one of my favorite things at Summer Revival is a very similar cousin to like one of my favorite things at Alchemy, and that's their avocado toast. I love avocado toast.
So good there.
Amazing. It's incredible. And I would argue that it's the best avocado toast in town, maybe even the only avocado toast in town. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, because I want to know about it.
Okay, I did not see this on the menu, but I was at Nectarine this morning, which is another incredibly nourishing place with all organic. Like, they're extremely mindful about their ingredients. Another place where I feel like you can trust anything that you eat there is going to be safe. But while I was there, somebody had, it looked like it was like a flatbread. It like came on this like little platter thing.
Amazing.
And then it had, I was like totally like, what is that? And I'm like peeking through the thing because I was already, I want to know what this is. But it looked like it was an avocado flatbread, and it was like piled with all kinds of fresh vegetables. It looked like maybe some arugula, and maybe like a tomato something. I don't know exactly what it was. Like I said, I didn't see it on the menu. I just saw it come off the table, and it was like, whoa. I'm gonna have to pay attention next time I go in there, because it looked delicious.
If someone was to be like, Ash, what's the most nourishing vegetable you can think of? Instantly, I'd be like, avocado. It's avocado. Instantly. My favorite sandwich at Summer Revival is actually their BLT add avocado. So that's why it's like avocado toast is like the cousin to the BLT. And then now I'm hearing there's this avocado flatbread business.
That's what it looked like. I could have been hallucinating. It's just what I wanted to see, and that's what happened.
Did you drink the adaptogens again?
I did. I love their chagachino, man. It's so good.
I want to talk about more things I like at Nectarine as well, but can you explain what a chagachino is again for the first timers who are like, who are these two girls rambling about Dripping Springs on the internet?
So it's got a variety of things in it. I believe it's like the chino part is supposed to be like a cappuccino, like a coffee type thing. But then it also has chaga mushrooms, which are adaptogens, and they help your body in different ways than just the regular coffee bean does. So it's like instead of just getting a coffee, like kind of hyper awake like I do when I drink coffee, I like to get the chagachino because it also has the adaptogens that help wake up my brain instead of just my body and giving me the shakes. And for me personally, I don't drink a lot of coffee, so I only need half of one. So I order one and I drink half, and then I throw it in the fridge and I drink the other half the next day. So it's like it works for 2 days. It's good.
All right. I like it.
They make their alternative milks in-house. At least I know they make their coconut milk in-house. And I like it with the coconut milk. It's very good.
Ooh, I do like a coconut. My go-to at Nectarine, there's a drink that it's actually iced. So I probably wouldn't get it today because it's so cold. But it has turmeric and ginger in it, and it's delicious. It's like on the refresher side. I don't take notes before I go live, you guys. I'm winging it, just like my life. I'm just winging it. This one, she's always got her list ready. But my favorite thing to pick up there is actually bone broth. Either the chicken or the beef. Typically, I'm going to order the beef bone broth, and I saw like the base of it, So I know I could obtain the bone broth base, like I know where to get it. But I don't know how to make it as magical as they do because I have no idea what they add to it. But it is absolutely delicious and like a good, nourishing way to kind of on ramp your stomach to like start the day. And my thought process behind being like gentle and I need to nourish my body is I haven't been feeling like super great. So I came to this conversation with the mindset of like, if I don't feel so awesome, what am I going to go eat where I feel better whenever I leave that place instead of going, oh, it was so good, I went too far.
And I just had a conversation earlier today in which somebody asked me or challenged me to think about in my day is when I'm making decisions about what I'm going to put in my body or what I'm going to do with my body, is it helping or is it harming? And I was like, ooh,
It feels big.
Really, like really helpful too. So ever since I had that conversation, I keep asking myself, I'm like, okay, like I wanted to eat some tortilla chips and I've got some like siete tortilla chips. I mean, I don't know if any tortilla chip is really the best, but I think that they're better. And so I was like, is this helping or is it harming? And I'm like, okay, well, I'm only going to have 2 chips because I still want the dang chips. Instead of sitting down and putting out on them, I'm going to just be more conscientious of what I'm putting in so that I can help myself and help myself drink more water.
With that though, I think I've definitely had seasons where I thought I was helping my body, but I wasn't fully helping my body. Like I've been all over the water since the start of the year, but my body's not absorbing the water like it's supposed to. And I'm like, I thought I did the thing and it just worked. And I'm like, no, I guess this is like life at 40. You have to add things to your water so your body actually absorbs it. And I'm like, what fresh hell is this?
Good quality salt. Just take a little pinch if you don't have like something to mix in with your drink. Just take a little pinch of salt and put it on your tongue and then drink your cup of water.
Yeah, drinking out of the water hose no longer cuts it, guys. Weird.
Weird. Who knew? I mean, I don't know. Maybe there was some like weird salts or something in the hose that it actually did us some good back then. Maybe.
I doubt it. I very, very highly doubt it. Thinking about like where would I go on the east side of Dripping Springs if I want to go have a meal and feel better. I'm probably going to pop into 1 or 2 places. And I don't know if this is helping my body or harming my body, but I do know after I have either one of these things, I seem to feel pretty darn good. And that is the Caesar salad from Pius.
Ooh.
I love their Caesar salad. I don't know what's in it, but I love it. And then on a day like today, it's a perfect day for me to pop into Simply Pho, and I'm going to get a big bowl of pho. And it depends on what my mood is like, where I'll pick whatever protein goes in it as well. And like you jazz it up with all the sprouts and the, I guess that's cilantro or basil. Basil. It's not cilantro. It's basil. Cilantro would be weird at a Thai restaurant. So on the east side, I'm going to go to one of those 2 places. And did we hit everything on your list? I know we're about out of time, but I had a couple of shout outs I wanted to make before we signed off today.
I had one more that I wanted to mention, and it's a relatively new business to Dripping Springs, and that's Salt and Light. So they have 2 different rooms in their establishment. One is a salt room. So if you have allergies or respiratory things, it's really, really good for that. And you basically just like go hang out. You can meditate, whatever, and you just hang out in that room. And then the other one is the light, the salt and the light. The other one is the light room, and that has the infrared lights in it. That's good for all kinds of good healing and deep within your body. So I just wanted to mention them as well. It's just as important to make sure that we are surrounding ourselves with things that are helping our body, as well as making sure that what we put into our body is the most nourishing.
Before I jump into the shout outs, gosh, I should have made the darn list so I would follow along. Rachel, you're not wrong. Those croutons are my favorite part. They're delicious. Homegrown has reopened. They are in the El Rey Shopping Center at the very end. I mean, can you call it a shopping center? El Rey Suites. How do I make it sound as amazing as it is? So I'm so pumped to see that business reopen here in Dripping Springs. And the shout outs I wanted to make have absolutely nothing to do with nourishment or gentle, but congratulations to all of the finalists for the Chamber of Commerce Star Awards. I feel like if you're not in the weekly Drip Book Club or the Empower Networking Group, then you were ineligible for those awards, because all I see in those lists is basically my friends. And I am so pumped and stoked for every single one of you that made the list. And I also want to take a moment. I don't even know if Susan or Amanda at the Chamber even watch this show. So maybe through the rumor mill, it'll go back to them. I just want to applaud how they changed the voting this year. Before it was like a one and done. And now we actually get to see the finalists and there's a vote off that's happening right now. So you have a few days to go see those finalists and then make the vote. So that is happening right now. I don't know when that ends, but just a heads up. Yes, the pre-purchase meals. Oh my gosh, that came. John, did you live in Dripping Springs when that initiative started? I know Martin was watching earlier. There was the Love Thy Neighbor group. That was a Facebook page
yesterday.
Oh. Yes, and Mr. Bledsoe started that initiative, and that's where those meals all got started. And that is that was a really cool Pay It Forward campaign. There were a couple places in town. I don't remember exactly. It was a COVID thing, a little bit of dripping history. John, it sounds like you came here post-COVID, right around the time it got real expensive to live in this town. So we're glad you're here, though. By the way, we're so glad you're here.
And another shout out for Turcotte, if you are looking for particularly seed oil free places to eat, there is an app that you can check called the Seed Oil Scout, and I use that because that is something that's important to me too. And Turcotte is one of those places that while they do have some seed oils there, if you tell them that you're concerned about seed oils and you're trying to avoid them, they have expressed that they are more than happy to make you a plate or a sandwich that is seed oil free to help you with those sensitivities too.
So cool. So cool. We're usually right under time, but now we're over.
It was such a good one. It happens. We get excited.
You guys definitely got a little bit more behind the curtain look at Amber and I on the day-to-day. It's an organic conversation. Now we're just talking about organic foods and how we're nourishing our bodies with them.
Well, thank you so much. Oh,
that's right. That's right. You did do that. You did do that. Thank you for that. I had completely forgotten about that detail. But yes, Amber, I'm sorry I interrupted you. Continue.
No, you're good. I was just going to say thank you so much, everyone, for joining us for another episode of the Weekly Drip. I am Amber Pierce with COIT Cleaning and Restoration, and this is Ashley Tullis with Atomic Properties Group. And we look forward to seeing you next Wednesday at 4 o'clock. We hope you have a great week.
Yes, have the best week ever.